Good morning and welcome to the annual media call of the Brand Group Core 2025. We are broadcasting from the Congress Center in Düsseldorf, where we're currently hosting 12,000 global dealers at the Volkswagen brand experience over the next 2 weeks. Right here, we are showcasing our exciting future product portfolio and provide deep insights into our strategy. But back to the annual media call. A warm welcome to all of you joining our live stream today. I'm pleased to introduce our key speakers for today. Thomas Schäfer, Group Board Member responsible for Brand Group Core and CEO of the Volkswagen brand. And David Pauls, Chief Financial Officer of Brand Group Core and Volkswagen brand. In 2024, the brands of the Brand Group Core set clear strategic goals. Today we are going to present you the results, what has been achieved, and what are the objectives for 2025. And most importantly, how is the Volkswagen brand gearing up for the future? Thomas Schäfer and David Pauls will give answers to these questions, present the financial performance in 2024, and outline the roadmap beyond 2025. A quick note before we begin. At the end of this session, we will hold a live Q&A. You can submit your questions via the streaming platform, starting right now and throughout the presentations. And with that, Thomas, over to you.
Thank you, Jens. Dear media guests, I'm delighted to welcome you here today to our annual media call. Despite a challenging environment, the Brand Group Core delivered solid results in 2024. More on that in a moment. The Brand Group Core comprises Volkswagen passenger cars, Skoda, Seat, Cupra, and Volkswagen commercial vehicles. We call ourselves Core because we are essentially the heart of the Volkswagen Group. We operate a total of 22 production sites worldwide without China. We employ over 200,000 team members, and we offer 60 different model series to our customers. I'm proud that one of our greatest strengths is our unique pool of expertise across 5 strong brands. Our driving vision: we are the core of the Volkswagen Group. We offer the most desirable brands to our customers with top technologies at competitive costs. And how do we achieve this? By building strong brands with a clear market position and our streamlined, highly efficient engine room behind the scenes. Our collaboration in 2024 centered on jointly agreed strategic priorities. They guide us in tackling key future challenges together. Here's an overview of the priorities we focused on in 2024. We've made strong progress and laid solid foundations. Let me give you a few important examples from the work streams. Battery cost. We are systematically reducing battery costs for all our core brands through various measures. By 2027, we aim to have halved the costs compared to 2023. We are working closely with colleagues at PowerCo and Group Components to drive further reductions. Software variants. By 2026, we'll have cut our software variants by more than 99% without eliminating equipment options. Let's take the Volkswagen Golf for the European market as an example. We've already reduced the number of software variants in its life cycle from an astonishing 3.5 billion to just 1,000. With a radical focus on cost efficiency and discipline, we're going to streamline this even further. Time to market. With our core-wide new product development cycle, we are shortening development times for new models to a competitive 36 months. This will apply to all product upgrades and new generations within the Brand Group Core. We are also expanding this approach to new platforms and vehicle types. We do not call this China speed, but we call it Brand Group Core speed. Economies of scale. We are intensively focusing on cross-brand economies of scale to maximize efficiency and cost savings across our operations. Market share. Core-wide, in 2024, we've increased our combined market share in Europe to 20.1%. We're not only defending, but strengthening our leading position in our home markets. Our efforts represent a 0.9% increase compared to the previous year. The foundation for these strong results and the ongoing progress is our robust governance. It ensures streamlined decision-making processes, leaner management structures, and efficient organizational frameworks. In the future, the global production network in our group, that consists of 22 plants, will be managed in 5 production regions. This will leverage cross-brand synergies as well as regional cost advantages in order to position production efficiently and in a future-oriented way. We are also modernizing technical development in a similar way, making them more agile and effective. All this will raise collaboration within the Brand Group Core to an entirely new level. We need the individualism and the ingenuity of Skoda, of Seat, Cupra, Volkswagen, and Volkswagen commercial vehicles. This is how we achieve maximum performance. 2024 was a challenging year for the entire automotive industry. Geopolitical conflicts continue to escalate, and we are witnessing a new era of protectionism. Despite these challenges, the Brand Group Core delivered stable results in 2024. Across all 5 brands, we introduced and launched exciting new models. In total, our 5 brands sold 5 million vehicles, an increase of 2.8% compared to the previous year. Revenue rose slightly by 1.6% to 140 billion euros in total, but our operating profit declined by 4.3% to 7 billion euros. This was mainly due to the cost of restructuring at the Volkswagen brand. As a result, our return on sales, including the cost of restructuring, dipped by 0.3 percentage points to 5%. Net cash flow is 4.7 billion euros. That's about 17% less than the previous year. Looking ahead, it's clear that external factors will not become any easier. Our business is more influenced than ever on economic threats, protectionism, and tariffs. So, what will be crucial for the Brand Group Core now and in the future? It comes down to 2 fundamental priorities. Firstly, we must ensure economic and financial resilience. When each brand performs well, the Brand Group Core performs well too. That's why all brands are pushing ahead with their individual performance programs and implementing the agreed measures with full force. In midterm, we're aiming at an 8% return on sales across the Brand Group Core. And this will ensure that we can finance key future investments from our own resources. Secondly, we continue strengthening collaboration between our brands. And our strategic priorities remain the foundation for this in the year 2025. To stay agile and adapt to changing conditions on a yearly basis, we've slightly adjusted the weighing of our strategic priorities for 2025. However, The overall direction remains unchanged. From the outside, it may not always be immediately visible, but I can confidently say that the brand group core is growing closer together. The progress we've made, both collectively and within the individual brands, particularly over the past 2 years, continues to drive us forward. And this spirit is clearly reflected in our strong results. It's a development I'm personally very proud of, because it has been a key priority for me from the very start. And now, in the spirit of a common team, I would like to ask my CEO colleagues from the other core brands to speak. Klaus Selmer, Carsten Intra, and Wayne Griffith.
I am here at the heart of our company, and I am also here to deliver one clear message. 2024 was the best year in the history of Skoda Auto. I want to thank all the dedicated Škodians who develop, build, and sell our cars, as well as our suppliers, dealer partners, and, of course, the COVO trade union. Most importantly, I'm grateful to our customers for their enthusiastic response to the broadest and most diverse product portfolio in our history. Our product strategy is built on giving customers freedom of choice. They can have highly efficient combustion engines, mild and plug-in hybrids, or fully electric models like the all-new Elroq or the new Enyaq here with me. As a result, last year, we became the 4th best-selling car brand in Europe, up from 7th place the year before. Our internationalization strategy also passed important milestones. And together with our relentless focus on efficiency, we have completed the best financial year in our history, laying the foundation for our intensified transformation. This success makes us a strong partner in the brand group core. Škoda is committed to contributing to the BGC as the strongest brand we can be. 2025 is our 130th anniversary. What better way could we celebrate than by starting off with momentum like this? Maybe with just a little more on our channels later today. Stay tuned.
Skoda.
Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles is celebrating 75 years. We founded the van segment 75 years ago, and we have been the leading and most inspiring brand since then. And our products became better every generation. After 7 decades, we have, with our 7th generation, again, the best portfolio we have ever had before. And these days, we are showing our new Transporter and the new Caravelle, the best workhorses in that segment. More payload, more towing capacity, more volume as BEV, diesel and hybrid version. Our customers are waiting for it to come desperately. We are so proud that our customers and partners rewarded us with so many awards. This is the basis for our success in the years to come. Bottom line, in 2024, we delivered as promised. Product-wise, with 3 world premiers and as well in numbers. In 2025, we expect quite some headwind. But as Nutzi family, we are committed to deliver in 2025 again. Success, freedom and future to our customers and partners, and as well to our brand group core as Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles.
Buenos dias, Thomas, and hello from Barcelona. Despite the challenges our industry faced in 2024, both Seat and Cupra demonstrated resilience, maintaining strong momentum and achieving increased sales. In fact, 2024 marked a key milestone for Cupra. 800,000 cars sold since the brand's launch in 2018. It was also the year of the brand's biggest product offensive to date, with the launches of the new Cupra Born VZ, the new Cupra Leon and Cupra Formentor, our second all-electric model, the Cupra Tavascan, and our sporty SUV, the Cupra Terramar, which was shortlisted for the European Car of the Year award. In just 7 years, Cupra has brought 7 new models to the market, establishing a fully fledged lineup and becoming Europe's fastest growing car brand. As a company, we remain fully committed to electrification, and 2024 marked a pivotal role in the biggest transformation in our history and our facilities here in Martorell. As the leaders of the Brand Group Core's urban electric vehicle project, 2025 will also be a very important year for all of us here in Martorell. Line 1 behind me is already producing the first pre-series of the urban electric car. This will be where the final versions of the Cupra Raval and the Volkswagen ID.2 will roll off the production line in 2026. Producing the electric urban car family on the Iberian Peninsula leverages all the synergies across the whole Brand Group Core, integrating production, R&D, and engineering. We've also made great progress with the construction of our brand new battery assembly plant that will produce 1,200 batteries per day, providing the essential power for these new cars. At Seat and Cupra, we believe that change needs drivers. As the leader of this transformation project, we're not just reshaping our company, we're transforming Spain into a hub for electromobility in Europe. With the right lineup and our facilities on track, we are ready to make this change happen. All the best with the rest of your conference, and I'm about to head on stage for hours. See you later.
Wayne touched on it in his statement. 2025 will be all about ramping up our electric urban car family. This is so important because this is how we are literally bringing the power of the Brand Group Core to the road. We are talking about a highly attractive electric car family starting at 25,000 euros. The Cupra Raval, the Volkswagen ID.2 All, and the Skoda Epic. In autumn, we'll complete the quartet with our Volkswagen compact SUV. And later this year, we will kick off the first media cover drives. For me, this project is a textbook example of collaboration within the Brand Group Core. We are unlocking serious synergies in the process. To put that into perspective, if we would develop these vehicles without the Brand Group Core, as we did for decades, it would cost us approximately 650 million euros more over life cycle. This is definitely significant and a powerful demonstration of the Brand Group Core's true impact. And we're just getting started. Now, I would like to give you a brief overview on the year 2024 from Volkswagen's brand perspective. And as you might expect, there's plenty to talk about. So, 2024 has undoubtedly been one of the most challenging years in Volkswagen's history. The negotiations with our union and the Works Council were long and intense, a tough process. But we worked hard, and together with the Works Council, we defined a clear path forward. And yes, it requires difficult decisions, but it also sets the course for a strong future. The result of these negotiations is one part of the biggest future plan ever for Volkswagen. We have laid the key foundations for three priorities. One, to eliminate overcapacity in our German plants. Two, to reduce manufacturing cost. And three, to achieve competitive development cost. In this way, we ensure that the brand remains financially robust in the long term. 2024 was all about fixing the basics, not only on the corporate side, but also on the product side. We listened carefully to our customers, acted on their feedback, and consequently made significant improvements to our new models. Intuitive operation, stable software, buttons back on the steering wheel. So this hard work really paid off. Our cars are best in class in many areas, such as battery management, voice assistance, and charging times. The media and experts are recognizing this progress. We are winning comparison tests and receive many awards for our cars. This improvement is also reflected in our brand and portfolio performance figures, which I'm going to talk about now. David will shortly take over to discuss financial performance and resilience. Globally, we sold over 2.6 million cars to customers. We achieved great results in most regions. In Canada, we registered an all-time sales record. we also had our highest sales figures since 2013 in the United States. In Mexico, we successfully defended third place among automobile brands. And in South America, we grew 1.4% compared to the previous year. Especially the Polo and the T-Cross are impressing in the compact segment in this region. In India, our Virtus is top of the compact segment. Almost 1 in 3 A0 customers are choosing our compact sedan. In China, we remain the market leader with 16% in the ICE market. And we will now be catching up in the new energy vehicle segment as well. With our In China for China strategy, we are strengthening our local development and collaborating with strong local partners. At Auto Shanghai in April, we'll announce new details of our In China for China strategy. Together with our partner XPeng, we'll also present some promising show cars. Let's now take a look at Europe. Here we remain market leader with a market share of almost 11%. And there's particularly good news from Germany. We are able to increase our market share to almost 20%. The Golf, T-Roc and Tiguan were our most successful models here. And our BEV registrations rose to 16%. For example, the ID.7 was the most registered electric car in January. The ID.3 also boasts some nice figures. Last year, we broke the 500,000 mark in terms of deliveries since this model hit the market in 2020. Staying briefly with our brand hotshots, we have sold our high-flying T-Roc no fewer than 2 million times since its launch in 2017. I'm already looking forward to our new T-Roc later this summer. We'll roll it out with an even wider range of drivetrains, including a hybrid version and with a fresh new design. We really have a strong lineup for our customers now and already offer a huge selection of models and drivetrains. In 2024, we made sure that many people were aware of our progress, thanks to targeted brand communication, campaigns, and partnerships. So we were, for example, the secret sponsor of the European Championships, the partnership with the German Football Association, DFB, and our wide range of promotions allowed us to achieve so many fans that we were perceived as one of the biggest sponsors of the Euros, although that was not actually the case at all. We celebrated 50 years of golf with a large-scale campaign making our icon the most visible model in Europe. We brought the legendary GTI Fan Fest to Wolfsburg, and we presented the new GTI Club Sport at the Nürburgring 24 Hours together with hundreds of excited fans. And short clips of our safety systems achieved record figures on social media. We were very close to our fans, customers, and their communities last year. We significantly strengthened our brand awareness by striking out in many new directions. Speaking of new, it is now my pleasure to hand over to David Powles, who will take a look at our financial performance in 2024. So see you all later. David, all yours.
Good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to be here today to present to the public for the first time a review of the financial performance over the past year, as well as the outlook for our brand. As Thomas said, 2024 was not without its challenges, but Volkswagen passenger cars demonstrated robustness and strategic strength. Today I will share how we navigated turbulent times and set the course for sustainable growth. Despite significant headwinds, we managed to increase our sales and achieved revenue growth compared to the previous year. The Volkswagen passenger cars brand sold around 2.6 million vehicles in 2024, an increase of about 100,000 vehicles over the prior year. Our operating profit and return on sales did not reach last year's levels as they were impacted by restructuring costs. I will get into details in the following charts. 2024 brought significant challenges. We faced stronger headwinds than anticipated. With inflation and the economic uncertainties, that private households were facing, the demand we had planned for did not materialize. Similar to the rest of the industry, we saw lower demand, especially for electric vehicles, which led to higher incentive levels across all the markets. At the same time, we renewed a large part of our product portfolio. While this is a strategic investment into our future, it naturally puts short-term pressure on profitability. Our performance program was designed to tackle these challenges. With strong revenue management, we optimized our prices and mix, reduced our product costs, and began right-sizing our overhead structure, focusing on efficiency improvements. Let me give you a few concrete examples. We have already reduced factory costs per vehicle by 3% year-on-year, partly by eliminating night shifts at selected plants. This was done despite low utilization, despite supply chain disruptions, and despite new product ramp-up costs. We also streamlined our manufacturing processes by reducing complexity in our car configurators, leading to improved productivity and improved profitability. And we made significant gains in the profitability of our spare parts business. We have made solid progress in reducing our overhead costs. Last year, we reduced bureaucracy by cutting committees by 20%. We started to streamline indirect functions and reduced the number of positions globally by 4,200. About 40% of those were in production, 35% in administrative functions, and 25% in the overseas regions. Now, we are expanding our focus to include direct functions as part of the new wage agreement, which I will explain in a moment. In 2023, the Volkswagen brand set a clear framework for capital expenditure. The CapEx target corridor of 3 to 4% of turnover. And in 2024, we achieved a ratio of 3.5%, right in the middle of our target range. Overall, we invested 3.1 billion euros in 2024, which was slightly above last year's levels. Most of this investment went into new products, including the upcoming ID.2, the new Passat, and the recently introduced Tayron in Wolfsburg. We also invested in an environmentally friendly and more efficient paint shop in Mexico. It is important to highlight that we stayed within our target corridor despite contributing to the group's investment of 1.3 billion euros in the Rivian partnership in 2024. Without this investment, we would have been at the lower end of our corridor, close to 3%. The series version of our ID Every1 will be the first software-defined vehicle in 2027, which will benefit from this partnership. It is another example of how we are keeping our development customer-centric and driving our transformation forward at full speed. We have also made significant strides in optimizing our R&D spending and boosting efficiency to stay competitive in the market. In 2024, we invested 3.6 billion euros in development costs, lower than last year, and this despite significant investments in our BEV transformation. This shows our focus on efficiency while continuing to drive forward our strategic product priorities. For our combustion models, we focused on keeping our offering competitive. Among other features, we introduced new driver assistance systems, larger screens, new connectivity, and new mobility services that meet the latest UN ECE guidelines. We also developed second-generation plug-in hybrids, which have significantly increased range, as well as new models like the Tayron and the T-Roc. Looking ahead, the all-new electric ID.2 will arrive in 2026, giving us a strong entry-level option for more price-sensitive customers. Net cash flow was lower from 3.2 billion euros in 2023 to 1.2 billion euros in 2024. And the main reason behind the swing was a significant reduction of inventory in 2023. 2024 included cash outflows for diesel-related payments and our strategic investment in the Rivian partnership. Despite numerous challenges, we expect a return of sales of more than 4% in 2025. At the same time, we will keep our spending for capital expenditure and R&D spending below 4% of turnover. Our performance program will ensure we become financially more robust. And this will enable us to manage risks effectively, whether it be the increasing share of BEVs with lower margins, CO2 compliance costs, or the competitive landscape in China. We are confident that 2025 will be a pivotal year where we will make significant progress in driving the Volkswagen brand forward. Now, let me take you through our plans on how we will achieve our medium-term ambitions. With our performance program, we successfully launched a broad range of initiatives that already showed positive results in 2024. We tracked progress of our targets against milestones, and we measured them regularly. Challenges from market dynamics, increasing BEV shares with lower margins, and competition in China required us to accelerate efforts and to sharpen our focus. We faced and will continue to face significant headwinds, lower than expected growth in key markets, and persistent inflation. Additionally, we navigate stringent CO2 regulations and aggressive competition, especially from new Chinese players. And lastly, an even higher share in BEVs will have a dilutive effect on our operating profits in the near future. These challenges necessitate taking our performance program to the next level, which we are doing. We expand not only the scope of the program, but also the scale of our measures. We are taking a broader and deeper approach to ensure we address today's challenges head-on and build a stronger foundation for the future. After tough negotiations, we have a fair wage agreement that will be a key for a profitable future of Volkswagen. And it is addressing three core areas. Firstly, the agreement harmonizes our wage structure and includes a suspension of wage increases until 2030. It makes working hours more competitive and optimizes bonus schemes. And these will result in an average cost reduction of around 0.7 billion euros per year for the VW brand. Secondly, we are reducing the technical capacities in Germany. By 2029, we plan to reduce technical capacity by 730,000 vehicles and to relocate important models to more cost-efficient plants. And thirdly, along with the technical capacity reduction, we plan to reduce the personnel capacity by around 23,000 employees by 2030. Our approach remains clear. All personnel reductions will be managed responsibly through partial retirements, severance packages, reduced working hours, and natural attrition. By combining our performance program initiatives and the outcome of our new wage agreement, we are setting a solid foundation to achieve a 6.5% return of sales in the medium term. On the top line, we are sustainably strengthening our product portfolio and refining our offering structure. Our focus is clear. We want a strong and attractive product lineup backed by optimized after-sales services. And this will help us strengthen our market position and provide our customers with models that truly meet their needs. On the bottom line, we will improve our factory and fixed costs. We are also enhancing our R&D efficiency by reducing headcount and better aligning the development of platforms and software within the brand group core. We will continuously monitor our progress to ensure we stay on the right path. I want to thank everyone for their commitment and hard work. Together, we will navigate the challenges ahead and lead the Volkswagen brand into a strong and successful future. And with this outlook, I'll hand back to Thomas.
Yeah, thank you, David. Dear media guests, I believe it's clear to all of us that the general conditions are going to remain challenging this year. We continue to anticipate tense geopolitical situation and increasing protectionism. However, we won't let that bring us down. Rather, we'll face the challenges and play to our strengths. We have a clear plan moving forward. We'll advance, we will attack, and we will achieve. By 2030, we will be the technological leader among volume manufacturers. In 2025, we will implement the measures agreed with the employee side, and we will continue to push ahead with our performance program. We are strengthening our MQB platform with hybridization options and product upgrades. We are optimizing the current MEB in terms of performance and costs. And we are working flat out on our SSP platform, which will launch at the end of the decade. It will allow even longer ranges, faster charging, more performance, and big progress in the field of automated driving. In our regions, we are continuing to follow our successful localization strategy, like, for example, in China. You know, we put China on four wheels 40 years ago, and we have everything it needs to remain the leading international car manufacturer in the future, thanks to strong partnerships and specific architectures and platforms to suit the market. We will grow stronger in North and South America and will continue to write our success story in the remaining regions, including Africa and India. And also in Europe, we are picking up the pace. By 2027, we'll have introduced 9 new models in our home region, including entry-level e-mobility. Last week, we've unveiled our latest show car, ID Everyone, offering a glimpse of our electric car for around 20,000 euros. This car will be the final piece of the puzzle on our journey towards the broadest model range in the volume segment. We will remain Europe's #1, even in the electric era. And we will prove that German factories can still build cars competitively, the safest, most innovative, and top-selling cars. And with that, back to Jens.
Thank you, Thomas. That's it for now from this stunning location. As the next group of VW dealers is already waiting outside for the brand experience, we'll make a quick switch and meet you in a moment for our Q&A session. Meanwhile, enjoy the highlights of our ID Everyone world premiere. See you in a minute.
This is for you.
This is not just any small electric car.
It's a car made for everyone.
Welcome back, and let's kick off the Q&A session. The first question comes from Gianluigi Gianetti of La Gazzetta dello Sport. Since the regulatory frames are changing, particularly in the EU and US, in favor of ICE, are you planning to launch a full hybrid powertrain in these regions? If so, what's the planned time to market, and on which brands and models do you plan to offer it? Thomas, please.
Yeah, so Volkswagen is well positioned with its engine range with freshly renewed mild hybrids and plug-in hybrids. And we will also offer HEVs and HEV drive from next year. It will significantly offer more performance with notably reduced consumption. The drive system will be launched in Europe in the new T-Roc as well as in the Golf and the Skoda Octavia. And in a further step, we'll probably offer it in other vehicles in the brand group core. We'll also bring a full hybrid for the US in the next generation of the Atlas Cross Sport, as well as the Tiguan.
Die nächste Frage haben mehrere Kollegen
The
gestellt.
next question was asked by various colleagues, among others Frank Johansson by DPA and Asa Bakovac from Handelsblatt. Oliver Blume on Tuesday announced that all the group brands will check the EV and ICE strategy, just as Porsche is doing it now. What about Volkswagen passenger cars? Will there be more ICEs like with Porsche, or will you stay with the electric ramp-up plan? Well, we have a flexible strategy. We'll continue to offer ICE electric cars and hybrids. This depends on the market development, quite clearly so. For Volkswagen 2024, 8% of delivered cars were electrified. We noticed in 2025 a clear push forward because of the strong demand in EVs. Beginning of the year, we have a rate of more than 10%, and this is twice as much year on year. And lastly, it's customer demand that is key. The market determines the mix of drivetrains, and we see to it that attractive models are there for attractive prices and competitive prices. In 2026, Volkswagen will have an electric model on the market for 25,000 euros, and then the ID Everyone that you've seen will come in 2027, and that will be around 20,000 euros. The strategy is staying. We'll have a broad offer for different markets, and that depends on how the markets develop.
So next question comes from Car and Driver. It's all about motorsport. WRC has opened the regulations for 2027, giving manufacturers the freedom of choice regarding powertrains and bodywork types. Would VW consider coming back to the WRC?
In English, right?
In English.
Yeah. So the brand Volkswagen exited motorsport in 2021, and currently there are no plans to get back into WRC.
Dann noch mal eine Frage aus Deutschland, ebenfalls.
There's another question from Germany, also from Frank Johansson from DPA. You said before that the VW brand by 2026 is going to achieve a margin of 6.5%. So do you maintain that guidance, or will that be shifted to the right? I mean, David, can you say a word or two on this? Well, thank you for the question. Well, the fact is that all of the industry, all players in 24 and 25 are facing a fierce market situation, shrinking sales markets, lower BEV transformation, stronger competition, especially out of China, and also changing market condition in the US. In 2024, the brand has taken a whole package of measures, which was a historic first for Volkswagen. And this has provided us with a path for more cost efficiency and a long-term and sustainable improvement of our group results that we're going to see at the end of that. Now, what we can do now, we can respond quickly and swiftly to a volatile market situation. And in the past year, and also going forward, we are going to adjust those measures, of course, whenever that is necessary. What is important, however, that we now have a co-determination process with the workforce, and which is sustainable, and therefore 6.5 as our guidance will stay in place until 2029, and we're confident we keep that guidance. And as how we implement those measures, well, this is currently in full swing, I should say. The ramp-up of the margin is tracked actively, and we're attacking this.
Nächste Frage von Victoria Waldersee von Reuters. Sie führen
Next question from Victoria Waldersee from Reuters. Low cash flow, you say, is true to more inventories because higher investment in the future capabilities of the brand group. Can you give us more details? In expectation of tariffs, have you moved more vehicles from Puebla into the US, or where exactly did inventories grow, David? Well, cash flow effect year on year, net cash flow in 2023 was positive because an improved inventories management with new vehicles. And this one-time effect was already communicated in the annual media conference last year. Moreover, in 2024, payments for Rivian and diesel had an effect, and adjusted by the effects mentioned before, net cash flow actually was increased slightly. With a view to the unclear and unstable situation by imports into the US, we have not done any readjustment of the distribution of our cars. We are observing the situation on an ongoing basis, and if necessary, we'll come up with decisions. Another question by Victoria Waldersee. How will the effects of your cost reduction measures have an effect on your finances in the course of the year? You said with optimization of shifts, factory costs have been decreased. Reduction of personnel costs has increased your expenses. What can we expect in the first half of the year as regards the effects of the cost reduction measures on your finances? What's to expect, David? So we do have an ambitious margin target of more than 4%. That's what we have set for this year. And we already see positive effects from the long-term restructuring measures. However, the personnel measures this year, 2025, that is, and in next year, will come in full force. And 2024 was a kind of transitional or transformational year. The area of products and production and logistics of the Volkswagen brand make a major contribution for the financial stability of the brand, and in the long term will contribute to improving the results. In the framework of the wage negotiations, measures to optimize production are taken, and this includes optimization of our plant utilization and allocation, and thus the more efficient use of existing capacity. And we will have topics that go across various plants and business units. That also means creating synergies and simplification done over various sites, across various sites as well. And one central part is the adaptation of technical capacities. The ramp-up of car production in Dresden and Osnabrück over the next 2 years, and reduction of production lines in a number of German plants in order to adapt capacity to market development.
Next question, again from Car and Driver. What are the reasons for the somewhat delayed premiere of the ID Everyone series version? Given the fact that many other manufacturers have already presented their offerings for the affordable EV market, for example, Hyundai Insta and Renault 5. Are there plans for a rebadged version of the ID Everyone as Seat Cupra or Skoda? Thomas, please.
Yeah, so if we do a Volkswagen, we'll do it properly. Proper design, innovation, quality, and reliability. It has to be 100% Volkswagen. And when we bring our entry model, it has to be at the right time. We believe that from a technological point of view, especially in terms of battery cost and availability of software architecture, we deliver the best package, and it will be at the right time when we can deliver it. So you also have to say that in that small segment that we are looking at, what we call the A00 segment, it's a relatively small segment in Europe. The bigger one is the A0 segment, and that is the one above, and that's the one where we deliver in 2026 with the ID.2 All series version. We will not do a rebadge for Seat and for Cupra or for Skoda. We believe that within the brand group core, we are differentiating now pretty clearly what model gets done by which brand so that we are not overlapping. And I think with this, we can develop more power within the individual brands and the segments.
Ebenfalls zum ID Everyone von Frank Johansen.
On the ID Everyone, there's also a question from Frank Johansen. You're not going to make a lot of money on the ID Everyone. Is that going to help you to increase your margin to 6.5%? Because the ID Everyone is a vehicle that will barely give you the profit of 1,300 euros. Isn't that going to dilute your profitability on that car? We have already seen that in Brand Group Core that we can produce profitably and develop profitably. Now, to have an entry-level model for 20,000 euros is very important for what we call the Champions League of car making. Now, we are taking up this challenge and we will be delivering. We're confident that we can do this well. Volkswagen is and remains the benchmark in the global volume segment. And of course, with small cars, the 6.5 margin expectation is a big one. It's not easy to achieve, but whether it's ICEs or BEVs, we will do it. We see the option to do it. Now, what is important, though, is we're not just going to sell one model to the world markets. Now, instead, as you know, we have a portfolio of different brands. So across the portfolio of different products, we have a good perspective for a sustained achievement of the 6.5%. So we're not talking about the profitability of one single vehicle model. It's a portfolio effect of our vehicle mix.
Okay, next question from Douglas Baldock from Automotive News Europe. What criteria will the ID Everyone series version have to qualify it to be called a true software-defined vehicle, Thomas?
Yeah, so we have conceptualized the ID Everyone consequently from a customer point of view. So this is about first-time buyers. It's about elderly customers. It's also about commercial customers like pizza services or care services. And in order to get the necessary flexibility in the vehicle, we need an updatable and very performant electronic architecture, software architecture. And this we are doing together in our joint venture with Rivian. The series version of the ID Everyone will be the first car in the group that will get the new electronic architecture. So that's why because we did it from a customer point of view, call it really a customer-defined vehicle, not really a software-defined vehicle.
From Matthias Schmidt, just a quick clarification. The battery cost reduction of 50% by 2027, against which benchmark year was it, Thomas?
Yeah, so the reduction of 50% until 27 is against the benchmark year, but we do not stop here. No? We plan to further reduce the cost by another 20% until 2029.
Von Andreas Dunte.
Question from Andreas Dunte. Are there any specific plans about the future of the transparent factory in Dresden? At the moment, all we know is the production will end in the smallest VW factory. What's going to happen to that location? And what about the future of the VW employees in Dresden? Well, our objective is that factories in Osnabrück and Dresden will have a sustainable solution. And we're open for any continued use of those locations. Now, we don't have any specific plans. In Dresden, vehicle production in the transparent factory will end in the end of 2025. And in Osnabrück, Volkswagen will produce cars until the middle of 2027, the T-Roc convertible. Now, the reduction of production capacities in the German plants is one of the measures in that agreement that we have achieved with Volkswagen to secure the long-term success of Volkswagen.
From Automotive News again, will VW increase US production to offset tariffs? How long would it take to add a new model to your plant? Thomas.
So production allocation and installations are not a short-term reaction that you can do from one day to another. So in short term, this is not really realistic to up the production there. We have a great factory in Tennessee and Chattanooga. We need a little bit of more time if we had to do that, but for now we are watching the situation and we're doing backup plans for long-term solutions.
So, dann die Frage von Bastian Brandau.
Then the question by Bastian Brandau.
Knapp 3 Monate nach dem Abschluss
After
mit der IG
3
Metall über den
months
Abbau der
after the
Arbeitsplätze in den
conclusion
einzelnen
of the
deutschen
wage
Werken
agreement with
sagen,
IG
gibt es
Metall, can you
genaue
tell us something
Vorgaben
about
für die
reducing
einzelnen
German
Werke und wie werden diese
workplaces? Are there
erreicht?
settings for the German plants and how will those be achieved? David?
Haben wir ein
Well, with the Zukunft Volkswagen agreement, we have agreed to socially compatible reduction of more than 35,000 positions in the German sites, for the Volkswagen production sites by 2030. The real need for personnel at the sites will be achieved along the implementation of the project, and the implementation of the HR instruments for reducing personnel show good rates of acceptance, and by we will add to them if necessary.
So, that was our Q&A session. Thank you for your questions and for joining us today. Have a great day and goodbye.